What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Good to Grip Sports, and today we're going to be looking over the college football playoff rankings, and it's probably going to be a short video just kind of expressing my thoughts on it, who should be where, and how bad they actually are. Let's get right into the video. Now, the first 5 teams that were unveiled, I don't have too big of a problem. I don't think Iowa deserves to be in there. They should be 5-3 right now. If Penn State, if their quarterback didn't get injured, they would be 5-3 right now. I don't like 3-loss teams in there, so I don't like that Wisconsin's in there. Fresno State and San Diego State, I guess I agree with, and Pittsburgh's actually a very underrated team. So it's just the 2 Big Ten teams I feel like they don't deserve even a spot in the top 25. The next part of the rankings include Ole Miss, who I agree with, Mississippi State. I mean, they're on and off, they're not consistent whatsoever, and Kentucky, I don't think they really deserve a spot. They're a very overrated team. NC State, I like here. They're a pretty good team from the ACC. And Minnesota, I don't know where Minnesota came from or why they have a chance at the playoffs, but they do not deserve to be there. The next rankings and the people that just missed the top 10, Oklahoma State, Baylor, Auburn, Texas A&M, and BYU. Oklahoma State, I like. They're a really very good team, very well put together, solid roster. Baylor, I mean, I don't think we deserve to be 12th in the nation. I'm not complaining. Auburn, 13, is just, it's an awful ranking. It really is. The fact that Penn State's not on here and Auburn, 2-loss Auburn is. Texas A&M, they beat Bama, so naturally they have to be in the top 15. BYU, ugly loss against Baylor. Not a very good football team. Their defense is what's carried them this year besides their crazy win against Virginia. And they just don't deserve to be in the top 15. Starting off the top 10, at number 10, we have Notre Dame. I'm okay with this. I mean, Notre Dame, yeah, probably a top 10 team just because of other teams that are not doing so well. And then number 9, Wake Forest. I don't know. ACC champions, Wake Forest. I don't know if that looks good on a resume or not based on how bad the rest of the ACC is. But if they win out, they have a legitimate shot at making the college football playoffs. So this is the current playoff picture. And it's just straight up awful. Number 1 is Georgia, obviously. I got no complaints about that. Number 2, this is where it gets interesting because we have Alabama. Alabama, unless they lose in the SEC championship game or another game in the regular season, is more than likely going to get into the playoffs. Number 2, though, I don't know. I feel like Cincinnati, maybe even Oklahoma deserve this spot more than Alabama does. But it's just an interesting call. At number 3, we have Michigan State, and this is where it gets really bad. Michigan State would not stand a chance against Alabama. There's no way they could beat them. They have literally no chance of beating Alabama, besides Kenneth Walker scoring 8 touchdowns, which the rate that he's going is more than possible. But it's just a really bad ranking. I feel like Michigan State, the highest they've made it in my rankings, personally, is 7. And I don't see them making it to the playoffs. And if they do, it will not be a fun game for them. Number 4, this is where it gets awful. Because this is where we all expect Cincinnati. Because Cincinnati deserves to be in the playoffs. They're undefeated. They beat number 10, Notre Dame. And they just win by a lot every week. Including the Tulane game. They started off slow, but they continue to roll along and get better. But number 4 is Oregon. The Oregon Ducks of the Pac-12. The Pac-12 is notorious for being bad in the college football playoffs besides the 1 year Oregon lost in the championship game. The Oregon Ducks are not a great football team. They lost to Stanford. They beat up on Colorado, but everybody can beat up on Colorado. Their best win is against currently number 5, Ohio State. Ohio State is also number 5 in these rankings, which means Cincinnati is number 6. They aren't even the first team out. Cincinnati deserves to be in the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th spot. I would love to see Georgia, Alabama, Cincinnati, and Oklahoma in the playoffs. Where is Oklahoma? They aren't even in the rankings. They didn't even make it in the top 25. Baylor made it, Oklahoma didn't. Did the committee just forget about them? It's awful. It is truly awful.